Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Giftogu, and if this is the first time of watching any of my videos, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below. I just got back from church and I decided to film this video quickly before I get up with my activities for the day. So if this is your first time coming across my channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below. I'm a Lagos-based YouTuber. I make videos about lifestyle, travel, and freelancing. So these are the kind of content that you'd like to see. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button below. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how to write an ebook, writing an ebook for beginners, how to write an ebook of thousands of words, how to write an ebook for Amazon Kindle. So it's generally ebook writing for beginners. So if you want to make a living writing ebooks the way that I make my own living writing ebooks, then you don't watch this video TV. Guys, like I said, in this video we're going to be talking about how to write an ebook for beginners. On the freelancing websites that I freelance on, I do a lot of things writing related. I write non-fiction and fiction ebooks. For non-fiction, I prefer writing books on self-help and finances. For fiction, I write only contemporary romance. I'm a romance ghostwriter, but I prefer writing contemporary romance. Also, I write copies, I write social media captions, I write website content, blog posts, I proofread and I edit. But my favorite niche is ebook ghostwriting, fiction and non-fiction ebook ghostwriting. And I prefer this because I kind of get my money in bulk. I don't like to do maybe one blog post and I charge $15 for. My money is all over the place. I prefer writing ebooks because I have my money in bulk. I can write an ebook and charge as much as $500 to $1,000 or even more than that. Depends on what I've agreed with the client, depends on what the client is willing to pay and what I'm willing to do the job for. So I prefer my money in that way than to have my money littered around doing smaller jobs of maybe 1K words, 500 words and get maybe $15 to $30. I don't like money like that. I prefer my money in bulk. So this is why I prefer writing ebooks, writing non-fiction ebooks and contemporary romance ebooks for Amazon Kindle for my clients. If you hear any noise, please pardon the noise. I live in Lagos, Nigeria. I live in the city center and it's quite noisy here. And then you can't say you want to film a video where everywhere is quiet because it's not possible. Like, it's always noisy and there's really nothing I can do about this as I cannot turn my house into a studio. So pardon me, I'm trying to speak up, so please pardon. Once a client gives me an ebook to write for him or to write for her, the first thing that I do is to brainstorm. Kindly note that some clients are going to give you an outline and some clients are not going to give you an outline. But whether the client gives you an outline or not, you have to brainstorm. I've written ebooks on a whole lot of topics that I'm not even familiar with. I've written ebooks on meditation, on tantric sex, on yoga, on fitness, on homeschooling, on pregnancy, on hydroponic planting, on the DASH diet, vegetarian diet. I've written ebooks on a lot of topics, on grief, on depression, on suicide prevention, on a whole lot of topics. And the amazing thing is that there are some topics that I have no idea about. For instance, I have no idea about hydroponic planting. I have no idea about pregnancy, but I wrote a book of 44,000 words in it. And I've never been pregnant before. I have no idea about homeschooling. I've never homeschooled anybody before. I don't even have a child. But I was able to write an ebook for a client of 44,000 words on homeschooling and on a bunch of other topics that I have no idea about. Which is why the first thing that you have to do if you want to be an ebook writer is to brainstorm. When a client gives you a topic, the first thing that you have to do is to brainstorm. If you're lucky enough, the client writes a detailed outline. If not, you have to brainstorm. You have to read up about the topic. This is how I was able to write this is how I've been able to write these ebooks of thousands of words. I had to brainstorm and do my research and make sure that I'm familiar with this topic before I start writing. So the first thing that you have to do is to brainstorm. I have my notepad here, so if you see me looking down, know that I'm looking into my notepad to get the second point for you. The second point is to do your research. You have to do your research. After brainstorming, okay, this is about yoga. What do I know about yoga? And then you read what yoga is about, the history of yoga, frequently asked questions about yoga, the myths about yoga, and everything that has to do with yoga. Then you have to also do your research, come up with like subtopics for this particular project and start researching on them. Also, you can check out books on that particular niche. For instance, if I'm writing a book about yoga, I go to Amazon, I check the best-selling book in the yoga niche, I check the synopsis or the book summary of the best-selling book in the yoga niche, and I also Google the author to see what the author has done with regards to yoga. If the author has written articles, I read them. I also watch YouTube videos with regards to yoga. I read blog posts with regards to yoga to make sure that I'm familiar with the concept, I'm familiar with the topic, so that when I'm writing an ebook, I write the best ebook for my clients, filled with a lot of information, and it does not come off like I'm using a lot of fillers. It's when you read the ebook, you see that I put in a lot of thought into writing it, and it was well researched. So the first thing is to brainstorm, and the second thing is to do your research, read blog posts, read ebooks, check for best-selling authors in that niche, watch YouTube videos, and even practice some yoga yourself. I mean, how can you be writing yoga and you have the opportunities to practice yoga? You can. Or writing a book about meditation, you don't even know that they have apps that you can use to meditate. You don't even know what meditation is used for. You have to do your research, and if possible, to bring out the best content, the best quality, you can actually try that out for yourself if it's something that you can do. If it's meditation, you can actually try it out for yourself to see, oh, did this help me with my sleep? Did this help me with this? Did this help me with that? I'm looking down again to give you the third point. The third point is getting a plagiarism checker. So you gather your points together with regards to the research and all that. You need to have your plagiarism checker on standby. I write the whole words from my head. Not like from my head, but still from my head. I don't know how to explain this. I read articles and I read books, I watch videos, and I put my thoughts together in my own words. That's why I said it's from my head. So when I use the plagiarism checker to check what I have written or what I have put together, most times it's like 0.01 like plagiarism, because I don't copy in verbatim, but there are people that actually copy in verbatim, and if the client catches you or the freelancing platform that you're doing the job on knows about it, you might be suspended from that platform. So it's always important to get a plagiarism checker. So when you're gathering your thoughts together, you can put it on a plagiarism checker and be sure that the book is plagiarism free before you go on with the writing. The fourth thing that you do is to write an outline of the book. Some clients are kind enough to send you a detailed outline. There's this client that I work for, oh my god, she writes the best outlines. With her outlines, it is almost impossible for you not to write an amazing book. I've written 4 ebooks for her, 4 ebooks on non-fiction topics, and she writes detailed outlines, very detailed outlines. So it's really easy for me to do my research with the outline that she has provided and get her a great ebook. So it's very important that your client gives you an outline, but if your client does not have an outline, it's also your job to create the outline. How do you want the chapters to be? What chapter should your introduction be? Chapter 1. What's chapter 1 going to be about? Like, where are you going to put your frequently asked questions or myths about the topic? Where are you going to put the history? Where are you going to put the advantages and disadvantages of that particular thing that you're writing about? How are you going to structure your chapters? What is chapter 2 going to be about? What chapter is the conclusion going to be about? Are you going to make use of interviews from like real people? How do you want this book to go? So you need to create an outline. If the client gives you an outline, fine, but if the client does not give you an outline, it's your job to create an outline for yourself. The fifth thing that you can do is to make it engaging. Once you have your outline, you need to start writing, of course. You need to make it engaging. An outline is very important because it helps your idea not to be all over the place. So it's very important to have an outline before you start writing the engaging content or the engaging ebook. So to make your book engaging, you have to use words that we use every day. Don't come and be writing a master's thesis for us or a PhD thesis for us. Please write it in a way that a layman will understand it. Write it in a way that someone that is not like a technical person can get what the ebook is about. So if you want to start using like big grammar and all that, don't do it in the ebook. Don't do it in someone else's ebook. Do it in your ebook. So if you don't get any buyer for your own ebook, that's on you. But don't do that to someone's ebook by using like big grammar that will make us open our dictionary to understand it. everyone is supposed to understand your ebook at first glance. So according to Catherine Manning, she said when you're writing a blog post or when you're writing, it's important to make sure that fourth graders can understand what you've written, except you're writing to a technical audience. And obviously an ebook is supposed to be very engaging and not that technical. It's supposed to be a book that someone that has no knowledge about that niche can open the book, read it and understand it. For instance, if you're writing an ebook on meditation, and if you're writing an ebook on meditation, and maybe I'm someone who has never meditated before, but I'm struggling with my sleep, or I'm struggling with anxiety and depression, and someone recommended meditation to me and all that. If I'm reading your book, I don't want to see technical terms there. I'm looking for something that I would read and understand what meditation is about, something that will help me be better. I'm looking for a book that will help me as a beginner who wants to venture into meditation, to sleep better or to deal with my anxiety. Do you guys understand? So it's very important that you write it with simple grammar. This is not like an English test or something where you show the world that you're actually really good in English grammar. We know that you're good, but keep your big grammar for your own project. If you're writing for a client, it's very important that you use simple English, simple terms that the clients would understand. Simple terms like Catherine Manning said, simple terms that even a fourth grader can understand. Do you get me? The sixth thing that you can do is to read it aloud. I do this a lot when I'm writing romance. It's like living with me, staying around me is a crazy thing because I'm always talking to myself, and I like to read things out. Even when I'm studying for exams, after writing in my journal, I like to read it out. It helps me, like having a conversation with myself with regards to what I'm studying, kind of helps me understand it better. I don't know if you guys get what I'm saying. So, but if you don't get, you can ask me questions in the description box. But it's important to read it out loud. I also found this point in one of Catherine Manning's video where she talked about how to write a blog post. Reading it aloud actually helps you, and I do that. So reading it aloud actually helps you to find the grammatical errors and to ask yourself if what you are saying makes sense. When you read it aloud, even though you edit it by yourself, once you read it aloud, you notice that you find some errors that you didn't even see when you were kind of editing it, and to show you if what you are writing makes sense or not. So it's very important to read it aloud when you're done writing. The seventh thing that you can do when you want to write an ebook is to write for audio. Write for audio. Write for audio. Most ebooks are voiced. I don't know if you guys know Audible. I think Audible is an Amazon platform for audio books, and most clients who pay people to write ebooks for them on the freelancing website also pay a voiceover artist to convert the book to audio. So if you're not writing for audio, the voiceover artist is going to have a problem when he or she is trying to voice what you've written. So it's very important that you write for audio. It's very important. My normal client that I work with on one of the freelancing platforms always tells me to write for audio. So when I'm writing, I try to read it out loud to make sure that when someone is voicing it, it makes a lot of sense when the person is kind of reading it out. So write for audio. I'm not saying just have it in your head that someone is going to voice this thing out. So it's very important to write for audio. The eighth thing that you should do when you want to write an ebook, or when you want to venture into writing ebooks for clients or even for yourself, is to make sure that you have a grammar checker. I use Grammarly. I use the premium version of Grammarly. My premium has expired anyway, but I should renew it very soon. But I use the premium version of Grammarly because it gives me the best. So I think it's very important for you to use the premium version of Grammarly. If you know that you're going to be writing ebooks for a living, go and pay for the premium. It's not expensive. It's around $130 annually, and Grammarly does a lot of discounts. So always check your mail to see if Grammarly has sent any discount code for you, where you get half the price off when you buy an annual plan. And it's very important to buy the annual plan of Grammarly because it makes more sense. If you're buying the monthly plan, it sounds like penny wise, pound foolish. So it's very important for you to make sure that you purchase the annual plan of Grammarly Premium and make sure you use it to check the errors, even though the clients will still give it to an editor. But it's also very important that when you submit the final job, the final manuscript to the client, the errors will be as minimal as possible. So guys, that's about that for how to write an ebook for beginners, and how to write an ebook that you sell on Amazon Kindle. If you want to go further, if you're writing this ebook for yourself and you want to go further, you also need to format for Amazon Kindle. So you need to be somebody that knows how to format for Amazon Kindle. Or if you're an ebook writer and you want to diversify your skill, you can go and learn how to format for Amazon Kindle. That's putting the hyperlinks and everything that will make the table of contents clickable. So when you click on it, you are directed to the particular chapter. You don't have to flip on your phone or on your tab to make sure that you go to that book. So it's very important that you learn how to format. Also, if you cannot do it, you can also pay somebody to help you format. You can find these people that format books for Amazon Kindle on the freelancing platforms. Also, you need to get, if you're the one that is publishing this book, you need to get a book cover. So you need to pay a graphic designer that will help you do that, and you also need to pay for marketing. Some people don't pay for marketing. If you have a good audience, if you have a dedicated audience, and maybe you've been creating content on that particular niche, you might not have to pay for marketing. But if you are new and you want to break into the Amazon Kindle market, you might want to pay for marketing. It's very important to know that Amazon Kindle is only available for people in the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, Ireland, Australia, and New Zealand. So if you're not from these countries, I don't think that it's available for you. Okay, so you might want to check this out if you want to venture into writing ebooks yourself and also self-publishing on Amazon Kindle. That's about that for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more content like this. Till I come your way again next time, be good, be nice to your neighbors, and bye. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram too. Bye.